Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to be with you this morning. So, in my chapter readings this morning, one of the sections that I came across this morning, reading through this morning, was in Matthew 26, and it's the instance of Peter denying Jesus. Jesus, of course, had warned him, right, that he would deny him, and it led to the question of what leads, right? What leads to denying Jesus? And as I meditated upon that and thought about my own life, I know that if I will not deny myself, I will deny the Lord. And it starts with denying myself. And as I was meditating on this, I was looking at Peter's life and some of the things that Jesus said to Peter, and then some of the things that Peter said with his own mouth. And I was just meditating on this whole denial thing, and I remember Jesus telling Peter, when Jesus said, "Hey, we're going to go to Jerusalem, and I'm going to be betrayed, and I'm going to be handed over, and I'm going to be killed, and raised the third day." Peter rebuked Jesus and said, "No, that's not going to happen." And then Jesus said these words to Peter. He said, "Get behind me, Satan." Here's the phrase right here, you guys. Here's the phrase. He says, "For you are not mindful of the things of God, but you are mindful of the things of men." And I know that if I will not deny myself, I will become mindful of the things of men. My mind will be just a worldly mind, a carnal mind, a mind that is filled with the affairs of this life, a mind that is filled with the cares of this life, a mind that's filled with, the things of men, if I will not deny myself. And then second of all, I was reminded of when Jesus was arrested and he went into the garden, to the courtyard. When Jesus was taken into the courtyard when he was arrested, it says there in Matthew 26 that Peter followed at a distance. And as I meditated upon that and I thought about that, I was thinking, you know what? If I will not deny myself, I will be following at a distance, right? What leads to being mindful of the things of men? It's not denying yourself. What leads to following Jesus at a distance, or that feeling, that sense of, man, I feel so far from God? It's because I'm not denying myself. And again, I'm speaking from experience. I know that. And then the third thing that came to mind was what Peter said when they came and said, "Hey, you're one of those guys. You're one of the disciples. You followed him. You were with him." And man, Peter said these words, man, and they just strike me. Peter says, "I do not know the man. I do not know the man." And as I contemplated on that and I thought that through, if I don't deny myself, I won't get to know the Lord like I should. And then it pondered the question, like, what hinders intimacy? What keeps people from knowing the Lord? What keeps people from being intimate with God? It's the same thing, beloved. Not denying self. If I will not deny myself, I will not be intimate with the Lord. And so as I thought these things through this morning, man, it was really just impacting me. I was journaling, studying, reading, meditating upon, Matthew 26 and this whole denial thing with Peter. And then I was reminded of Luke 9:23, where it all begins. In Luke 9:23, when Jesus is calling disciples, he says these words. Jesus says this, Luke 9:23. You can look it up for yourself. He says, "If anyone desires to come after me," if anyone desires to be my disciple, he said. It begins with a desire. If you're desiring to be a disciple, follow Jesus. He says, if anyone desires to come after me, the first thing Jesus says, is let him deny himself. That word deny there means to disown. It's literally what it means. It means to disown yourself. If anyone desires to come after me, let him disown himself. It says, let him take up his cross daily. Let him take up his cross daily. And Jesus said, and follow me. and follow me. That's a relationship. Just following Jesus Christ, learning from him, right? Getting to know him on a personal, intimate relationship. And so, man, that's what it means to be a Christian, man. What does it mean to be a Christian? What does it mean? Man, it means to follow Jesus. It means to deny yourself, to take up your cross, right? And to live the path that he set before you that's found in the scriptures, right? To live out the ways of the Lord. And so, beloved, man, this is just what came to me in my devotion this morning. I hope it blesses you today. And I hope that if you're like, man, I feel so distant from God today, man, maybe you just need to start denying yourself. If you find yourself carnally minded and worldly minded, man, maybe it's time to start denying yourself. If you're saying, man, I just lack that intimacy with God, I lack that personal love relationship with God, hey, it's time to start denying yourself again. Man, the Lord loves you. So do I. I hope that we'll have a